Good morning, everybody. Hey, today we are talking the Rippaverse, but particularly we are discussing ISOM. But guess what? We're going to talk a whole lot more here today on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Two Geeks and a Microphone. I am your co-host, Mr. Steven Boster, along with the one, the only, the most read up more than me today, Mr. Michael Shakes. Mike, say hey to everybody. Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom land. Hey, at least your Irish accent is appropriate this weekend, being that tomorrow is St. Patty's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day.
And if you're listening to this on the podcast, well, happy late St. Patrick's Day. Sorry. Because it'll come out the day after St. Patty's Day. So, what's that, Megan?
You say it right.
What do you mean I could say it right?
It's Paddy, not Patty.
Ah, okay.
I can't hear. What did you say?
Oh, Megan, you're not. Yeah. You'll have to play. There we go.
I have to come in to do it.
Yes. Hey, Megan, good morning.
That's because it's not running through the soundboard.
Right.
I just, sorry.
Go ahead.
No. You were saying, what were you saying?
I was saying, everybody likes to say St. Patty's, but it's Paddies with D's.
D's instead of T's.
I follow an Irish YouTuber who mentions it every year.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Nice.
So I was just saying.
The luck of the Irish in saying Paddy. Thank you very much.
Eat your Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that's right. That's where we learned. That's where we as kids learned how to speak Irish.
Yeah. Us Gen Xers.
That's right, by golly.
They're magically delicious.
There it is. Oh my goodness.
Oh goodness.
Well, we
Okay.
got jam-packed time today. We're pretty excited. If you guys don't know, Mike and I are Rippaverse fans. We appreciate Eric July, what he's doing in the comic book industry. He is making waves and making a difference. If you have not heard the time that we had him on the show before, please go back and listen to that episode, because I think he actually joins us about 20 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
I think we go like at least another hour where we're just talking with them. We talked about comic book industry. We talked about leadership, and all kinds of different things. And it was just fabulous. But we're here because there's some really cool waves of things that are happening that the Rippaverse is doing. But we wanted to talk about ISOM, where it all began. And we are going to get into a little bit of Yaira, what's happening right now on the Rippaverse. We want to point people to the campaign that's happening now, which is already breaking records.
I already got mine ordered.
Did you?
Yep.
I haven't decided yet if I wanted to do it today or if I'm going to do it Tuesday.
This is the first one I've actually ordered during the campaign, while the campaign was going on, because both the ISOMs I ordered after the campaign was finished. Alpha Core I ordered after the campaign was finished. But Yaira, I've actually been excited about Yaira since her panel in issue 1 of ISOM. And I was like, who is this character? I want to know more about her. So I've been really excited about her character. And as soon as I saw the campaign started, I'm like, I'm ordering it. Got it.
Yeah. I'm hoping. I think we probably should try to see if we can show the trailer, mayy. I think we can.
We could. Trailer. Well, let's do that after News and Geekdar, but yeah.
Once we get in there, I'm just trying to see.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I think we can.
What's coming. It's great. Because when we watched the trailer, I was like, oh, I guess I didn't realize she had a Russian accent.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know anything about her, so. All right.
Yeah. So we might digress into all things Rippaverse today. That's what we're saying, everybody.
Well, I think that's the appropriate thing for this
Absolutely,
episode. So.
absolutely. All right. Well, go ahead. Let's start with our geeky news.
Okay. All right, so today's geeky news, and I just found this out this morning. There's been all kinds of rumors for, ever since Henry Cavill was, well, however you looked at, fired from DCU, let go, quit, however you want to look at it. It's just like when a band member leaves a band, all the same stuff happens, Oh, he was fired. No, he quit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, we got the same thing with Henry Cavill. But there's been several rumors that Henry Cavill is going to join the MCU. And there's been a lot of reports of this morning, as a matter of fact, that not only will Henry Cavill be joining the MCU, but he may play a variant of Wolverine in the new Deadpool versus Wolverine movie. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Because it's Deadpool, it's going to be funny.
I agree.
It's going to be funny. So I think in a good way, that's going to be interesting. Now, in all openness, I thought he was going to play. Was it Captain Britain?
There's been rumors he's going to be Captain Britain, Centurion, a bunch of characters I'd never heard of before, and they all seem to be very Marvel equivalent to Superman. So there's been tons and tons of talk of who he could possibly play over in the MCU. I think in some ways it would be smart for Marvel to pick him up. In some ways, I don't know. I think we just got to see him
in DC.
Yeah,
I mean, he was so iconic as Superman.
Oh man, I thought he was. I still think. Yeah. Next to Christopher Reeve, he's still my favorite Superman. Yeah. I still think Christopher Reeve is the top Superman of all. To me, I think that's where you judge all Superman, all live action Superman anyway. But it's going to be hard to see him in the Marvel universe, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm up for it. Give it a try. Why not? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they've failed at other stuff, so we'll see what happens. But
yeah, okay, very interesting. All right, are we ready for the next stage?
Yeah, let's head on to the Geektar.
Control the radar, sir. What's wrong with it? I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
And some say the same about us. So
something to that effect, yes.
I really only have one thing for Geekdar this morning.
Okay.
So I said a couple weeks ago that Brendan and I had been binge watching Yellowstone, which I absolutely love. Fantastic series. Highly recommend it. Kevin Costner is amazing in it. Of course, I'm a pretty big fan of Kevin Costner anyway. So, and everybody else in it's just fantastic. But we started watching the prequels. There's 2 prequel shows for Yellowstone. Also, we binge watched. I say binge watched. It's only like 8-10 episodes, something like that. 1883.
Only 8-10 episodes. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, compared to Yellowstone, that's a lot of episodes.
A lot of seasons, yes.
There's 4.5, because they got to 5, and they've only gotten halfway through 5, and there's some things going on with Kevin Costner and whether he's going to return and all this good stuff, but that's for another day. Anyway, so we watched 1883. I enjoyed it. It was good. Definitely well worth watching, especially if you watched Yellowstone. But I don't think it's as good as Yellowstone. And that stars Sam Elliott. Gosh, I can't think of the country. The guy that's married to Faith Hill, and she's in it too. Anyway, Tim McGraw. Thank you, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Tim McGraw plays James Dutton, and Faith Hill plays Margaret. I think is his wife in it, which would be John's like great grandparents. I think 3. Anyway. But yeah, it's good. It's well worth the watch, especially if you watched Yellowstone. And then we watched the first couple episodes of the second prequel, which would be 1923. That one stars Harrison Ford.
And what's her name? Helen Mirren?
Yes, Helen Mirren also. I'm really liking 1923 because you're really starting to see the development of the Yellowstone Ranch, the Dutton Ranch. I mean, you're seeing placements of buildings that you see in Yellowstone. It's like, oh wow, that's cool. That's there and that's there, and you see the family graveyard, and yeah, it's. I'm really digging it. It's pretty cool, and it's Harrison Ford. Come on, Harrison Ford playing a cowboy. You can't ask for much more.
Yeah.
So
that's funny. That's funny. Kelly, my wife, has watched all of Yellowstone, the series. I don't know if she's watched the 1923.
It's 1883 and 1923.
Okay.
So they're 40 years apart.
She's seen some of 1883. I think she's seen those. I did watch the first. I watched the first season of Yellowstone, maybe the second and stuff, and then. But I moved on to other things.
You being from Bozeman, man. You living in Bozeman. You should be watching it.
When Sam Elliott was filming, he was spotted in Bozeman downtown. Even I have some friends who were able to get pictures with him.
Oh, cool.
And stuff. Yeah. It was
awesome.
They said he was super nice. Kind of a thing.
Well, let me know if you run into Harrison Ford, man.
Right? We'll see.
Because I think there's still. I don't think 1923 is finished. I think there's supposed to be a second season of 1923, but we'll see what happens there. I don't know for sure.
Gotcha. Well, okay, cool. Anything else about Yellowstone?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. Anything else you have for your Geekdar?
Nope, that's it.
That's it? Okay.
That's all. That's all I got today. No comic books. No comic books. I mean, I have tons of comic books, but
yep. Well, everybody knows that I've been
a
whole lot, and I decided to invest in myself a little bit for rest and relaxation, or just having fun.
What in the world did you buy?
This is called the Woozer vest. Now, I've seen Unbox Therapy talk about this little guy right here, this little Woozer haptic feedback kind of a thing. And so, but I was talking with a friend of mine, and he was like, look, if you're going to do it, just go all the way. Because this thing is just one, but the vest has 6 speakers, or not speakers, but haptic feedbacks. It has 2 in the front, 2 on the side, and 2 in the back.
Oh my gosh.
So imagine yourself listening to your favorite musician on your favorite app on your phone, whatever that may be that Spotify or anything. And imagine standing in front of the biggest speaker at the concert and feeling the vibrations of the music. That is
wow.
Yes. Brenda said, did I ask permission or forgiveness? Neither. Just to answer that question, neither. So, Jeffrey, morning, guys. Just dropping in before golf. Oh, I want you to talk about that. So anyway, so I've tested it a couple of ways. I've listened to music on it. It's just phenomenal. You're feeling the beats. You're feeling the drops, in certain stuff. And it is like being at a concert.
So wait, you got this thing?
I did.
Wow.
I sure did. PayPal was wonderful and it allowed me to make 4 monthly installments. I had to break up the pricing. No interest.
I did that with Dallas Cowboys tickets.
Yeah. Everybody in Lord of the Rings, the first movie, The Fellowship of the Ring, where it's talking about Sauron, and where you see Sauron getting the ring cut off his hand, you feel the slice, you feel the finger drop and hit the ground.
Oh my gosh.
And then when it all pulls down, you got like this big shockwave that comes. So I was disappointed right at first because the shockwave started, and that's where you hear the bass. And I thought, oh, it's not doing it, like for half a second. But then I realized that as the wave comes out, the vest is perspective based. So as the wave comes to you and then it hits you, you feel it. Not only do you feel it from the front, but you feel it go through you and behind you. It was pretty cool. So I've done it with that. I've tried. I got a subscription to Brain FM, which is like ADHD focus music for focus, sleep, and rest. I've only tested it with focus. Works great for me.
So you wear this thing when you go to sleep?
No,
I was going to say that's got to be uncomfortable, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be uncomfortable. No, but if I'm sitting at my desk, I'm trying to get work done, I got focus music on, and so then I can do stuff for work. And so I've tested it with that. It works great. Troy, my stepson, has already tried it out with gaming and loves it.
Oh, I bet.
You like if you're playing Call of Duty, and you throw a grenade. Now, whatever your perspective is, if you throw it and turn around, you'll feel the explosion on your back.
Wow.
If it's in front of you, you'll feel the explosion in your front, depending on how close you are, even. Dang. And then you can feel the bullets, pew pew, kind of a thing. Ooh, right? Obviously, I wasn't being shot by a stormtrooper.
I just thought of something. You got to put this thing on and wear it for the Yaira promo.
I could. Right now, it's locked up in my son's room.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying you got to do it right now, but
I will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do that because there's one scene I want to know what it feels like.
Yep. I also had a friend tell me last night. He goes, "Steven, you need to wear that watching the beginning of Revenge of the Sith."
Oh.
So I'm going to do that. So that's what I'm going to do probably right after this.
So wait a minute. So like if you're watching Revenge of the Sith and you get to the part where Anakin's in the lava, does it heat up? Start getting hot? Play a little sizzle noise. Like when you press on the hamburger on the grill.
Right. We'll see what happens. That's total immersion. It heats up. That's
nice.
Funny. That's fun.
Nice.
So anyway, I've enjoyed it. I think it's been a lot of fun. Kind of a thing. Yeah, it's just different. I've been wanting one for a long time. Unbox Therapy did a review of the smaller one and just loved it. And I've watched over the last couple of years people talking about how it's just really cool and immersive and stuff. So
cool.
It's been fun.
I did think of one more Geekdar I have. This is on the sports side, but I am really super excited, so I got to share it. So, as most of you know, if you've been watching for a bit now, I am a St. Louis Battlehawks fan of the XFL, which is now the UFL because they've merged with the USFL, the other spring football league. So they're both together now, and it's called the UFL. But it was just announced this week, St. Louis will be the host of the UFL Championship for 2024. I am really, really excited.
Did you get your tickets?
No, the tickets aren't on sale yet, probably because they don't know who's going to be in it yet. I mean, you don't want to start selling tickets till you know which teams are playing in it because you want to give those areas a chance to buy tickets. So it's no different than the Super Bowl. But I hope to get tickets. I have no idea how much they're gonna be, but regardless of the Battlehawks, hopefully the Battlehawks will be there because that'd be fantastic for them to be playing the championship in the Battle Dome. But even if they're not, I want to try and go to it and support it no matter what, because I want to support the UFL. But super excited. The championship is coming to St. Louis, so take that, Cronky, you suck. Just had to say that.
Very cool. Well, are we ready for the main event?
I think we're ready. Let's do this.
It's time for the main event. Okay, so what are we talking about today? No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing everybody.
I hope you know what we're talking about.
I'm very excited about what we're talking about today. So
I am too. I've enjoyed the Rippaverse so far. I've got the first 3 books. I haven't read Alpha Core yet, so but I do plan on reading that soon.
Yeah. For those that may not know, what is the Rippaverse?
Good place to start.
Right. I do want to say this, though. I do want us to kind of talk briefly about the Rippaverse ethic that's in the books and stuff like that. But
that sounds good.
So you tell me the story of Rippaverse.
So Rippaverse was created by Eric July, who he's been doing comic book reviews on YouTube for many years. He's also a music artist. He has a band, several fairly successful little endeavors he's done. But he decided, he's, I guess, ripped on a lot of these comic books. I don't know if that's where Rippaverse comes from or not. That just struck me. It's like, oh, wait, he's ripped on these comic books, so maybe that's where Rippaverse comes from. I don't know. Don't take that as official. I have no idea. Ask Eric July. But anyway, right. So Eric he teamed up with some people, some that are in the comic book industry too, some fairly big names, and he created ISOM #1, his first character, and the book he did a campaign. He ran a campaign for the book, and that first book sold over 1 million copies, and it just kind of broke the whole independent comic book world.
Yeah, it sure did.
Because no independent comic has ever sold that many copies ever, and he just kind of blew the world apart, which was pretty freaking amazing. You know, so this guy out of Texas just came out of nowhere, and he's kind of exploded onto the scene.
Yes.
And he has 3 books out now. He's got ISOM 1, ISOM 2, and Alpha Core.
And more in the pipeline. And more in the pipeline. Talk about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we got 2 coming out this year, Yaira and Horseman, which we'll talk about those a little bit more in the episode.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, we're getting ahead. Real quick, I just the name Rippaverse, just so we know, just to share with everybody.
Are you looking at Rippaverse wiki by any chance?
No, I'm not. I just
okay.
did a quick thing about where the name came from. I love Google, but it says Rippa is taken from his channel name, which was Young Rippa 59.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
And the reason the name is Rippaverse is so the brand is still linked to his Young Rippa 59. So,
okay. That makes sense.
So
makes sense. Okay. I just thought it was because he ripped a bunch of comic books. That's all. I think he'd appreciate that. Right. Hopefully he does. It's meant all good fun anyway.
Yes, very much so. Yeah. So, okay. So, one of the things that established, I think, the difference is what's the slogan people say? If you don't stand for anything, or if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
And he takes a stand on things. And one of the things I wanted to share is in each of his comics, the ones that I have, I have ISOM 1, and then Mike so graciously gave me ISOM 2, which is my favorite cover. I love this cover.
I love that cover. Yeah.
He does different variant covers, but This one's my favorite. It's the one with the moon on it. For those who are listening, where he looks like he's on a rooftop, kind of a thing, and you see the moon. Always pretty cool, and the big creature that he fights in the book. But the Rippaverse ethic, here's what he says: the comic book company was not created at random. He goes, I've been rooted in the culture of American comic books since I was a youngster, and being a creative in the industry was always a dream of mine. But the unfortunate state of the industry gave me the push that I needed to give it a shot at such a young age. We've seen what works. We've certainly seen what not to do. Rippaverse is the product of a comic book guy that still believes the magic of the culture. With that being said, we are guided by a set of principles that remain the staple of this company. And he has three main ones. One is respect the customer. Second is canon and continuity. And three is a comprehensive timeline. Now, we can talk briefly about the state of the comic book industry, but and I do have a story I want to share about that in a little bit. But respect the customer. He says, we want you invested in this brand and everything that comes from it. Rippaverse Comics is not entitled to your money, and we must earn your support. It's on us as the creators to produce something that you find a value and can remain invested in. It's impossible to please everybody, but we hope there's a book or character that you look forward to keeping up with. Yes, for me so far, it's almost everything. The success of the company, of this company, will be largely dictated by our ability to keep the customers interested and satisfied. We are not oblivious to this. Respect goes both ways, and we honor our side of the deal. Any comments? Genius.
Genius.
Yes. Is that
I believe that was Zig.
Oh, cool.
I believe it was Zig from Nerdery
Hola,
Murder.
Zig. Oh, and Jeff's in there too. Hey.
Yep. Good morning. Good morning, Nerdery and Murdery. Welcome to the show.
Excuse me. I think I sneeze every time I think of Nerdery and Murdery. I'm just kidding.
And Jeff confirmed it. Yep, it's him.
Right on. Right on. All right, canon and continuity. So they say our aspirations extend far beyond having a couple of characters or series. Gosh, I'm getting older. I almost have to take off my glasses. A vast universe that is ever expanding is what we hope to accomplish. This is something that has long been intriguing about modern American comic books, but it has become a lost art. The Rippaverse will fill this void. This means that every single book you buy will be a sense of introducing new information. We want every book you buy to be, that you buy to always matter. Those stories happened. There will be no lazy time travel to change histories or events. Yeah, thank you very much. There will be no cheap multiverses that have altered versions of the same character. Yeah, thank you very much. If you own a book, you own a part of the history, and it's our mission to keep it this way. This concept will remain true regardless of the medium. Should the characters appear in officialized animation or live action, the depictions need to be as accurate to the characters as realistically possible. Your favorite characters will always be recognizable.
I love and respect Eric, but I don't totally agree with the multiverse being lazy writing. It depends on how it's used and stuff. Sometimes multiverse has been great. You even loved the Flashpoint story, which is a multiverse story, by the way. So, yeah, I think it depends on how it's used. Does it get lazy? Yes, I agree with that. Do they use it as a cop-out? Yes, sometimes they do. It depends on how it's used. But that being said, I do respect his stance on it, and I'm glad that's what he's doing with his universe, and I'm all in on his universe, so okay.
Right on. Yep. I hate multiverse. Okay, moving on. A comprehensive timeline. This is probably,
and we will be doing Crisis Part 2 coming up soon. So.
Notice, everybody, that I'm not there on this. I'm just teasing.
We'll
No,
see you
Mike
on 2.
give me breaks, so which I appreciate. I sincerely appreciate, actually. Comprehensive timeline. Because we value canon and canonicity, it's important that you're able to follow the timeline as these characters grow. This will especially be helpful for those of you that become customers years after our founding. We promise to try to keep reboots to a minimum. If this means that the series is on its 100th issue or volume, so be it. But this isn't a reason to feel overwhelmed. There will be plenty of opportunities to purchase anthologies that combine key stories, but we also don't want to hold your hand on picking up the pieces. Is often part of the fun. Not every story will be told in chronological order, so we'll always make it as easy as possible to keep up with as the universe grows. Eric July.
You know, I just thought of something. Today I wore my Buc-ee's T-shirt, and it's appropriate because it's a. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's a Texas Buc-ee's T-shirt.
Okay.
That we got when we were in Texas. So I didn't even think about it when I put it on. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is appropriate." Now that I thought about it.
How's it appropriate? I'm not following.
Because it's from Texas.
Okay.
Eric July's from Texas.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
everything that happens is in Texas in the comic books.
Oh, okay. All right.
You should really read the books.
I did. I read the first one and I got started on the second one. I probably got halfway through the second one, but I didn't recognize. I guess I didn't realize it was Texas. Texas.
So
I love Texas.
my wife asked a question: how did we find him? How did we find Eric July? I actually had heard about him. Well, let's see. We had him on the show this past July. Ain't that funny? We had Eric July on in July. So we had him on this past July. I had heard about him like a year before this, and how his comic book is really impacting the independent comic book market. And then I had actually tried to reach out to him back then when I first heard about him. Never got a response. And I was like, oh, well, okay. That happens a lot. I've had that happen many times. No big deal. And then last summer, he happened to be interviewed by Michael Knowles of the Daily Wire. And I was watching the interview, and I was really liking his story and just liking everything I heard about him right then. And so I tried reaching out to him again, and this second time that I reached out to him, his assistant, Caro, actually responded quickly. And she's like, yeah, he'd be interested in being on you guys' show. And I was like, fantastic. And I mean, she sent me a whole press packet and everything to design our thumbnail with. And yeah, it was really cool. They were really super generous and loved him. She was very responsive. They did a great job. So I was very happy to have him on. Mm-hmm. And he gave us about an hour's time.
He sure did.
Which I thought she had told me originally that he could only be on for 20 or 30 minutes or so. And he ended up giving us more time. So
yeah, I kept saying, cool. Hey, I know you're a busy guy. He's like, oh, no, we'll hang out. Like,
yeah, we'll hang out. Yeah. So now he is really super busy, being, 4 books in. Each book has sold over 1 million copies. They're having to revamp their entire business and how they do everything because of how many copies of each book they've sold.
Well, is it $1 million or $1 million? Everyone's sold over $1 million in books.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know he sold more than anybody else in the independent market. Let's put it that way. Yeah, independent comic book market.
Yes.
I can't say independent market because that would include a lot.
Right, but the independent comic book market. Well, but the publishing industry is changing rapidly.
Yes, sure.
And he is, in my opinion, is on the forefront of what that looks like and what that can be. I know Brandon Sanderson in the fantasy fiction writing market is also doing these same kind of campaigns and breaking records. That's for novels. He writes novels and stuff. And his campaign he did broke like $10 million.
Wow.
And stuff.
Wow.
He actually got into discussions with Audible, and Audible was Audible does the audiobooks, and
right.
we have a thing with them, and or an affiliate with them, and he is getting them to make changes on their restrictive contracts. He's like, if you want it, you can, but it doesn't matter to him.
Well,
anymore.
Now
he doesn't have to go through Audible anymore.
I gotcha. Now Eric just made an announcement last week that the Yaira campaign will be their last campaign, that they will no longer use that format to sell their books anymore. I think they're just going to have a simple pre-release and do a
Pre-order?
storefront. Yeah, probably do like a pre-order and just a simple storefront. And because he said they're revamping their website, they're revamping how they do business altogether. So he said that they may do campaigns for certain special releases in the future, but for every book they will not have a campaign anymore. This is the last one. And I know that the Horseman book is coming out later this year too, so that'll probably be the first one that goes under the whatever the new format of selling they're going to have. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going forward after Yaira. And Yaira's done fantastic so far. I think they just posted something the other day, something about $3 million or I don't know. So he's making money hand over fist with this. He's doing good.
He's had to spend all that money too for a new warehouse, for people and equipment, and
he says that in his ethics too. His money is going back into his business, So and it's going back into his business, going back to pay his employees' salaries, pay for the distributing, and so on and so forth. So you got to respect what he's doing. And that's probably a good segue to show something else that he got to do with his money. So here, let's see if I can bring this up.
Yeah, everybody, we were talking about ISOM today, but we're talking all things Rippaverse.
Yeah, it's Rippaverse, really.
I know.
All right, we ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't hear it. When you share, did you tell it to do the volume?
Do you hear it now?
No. Can you hear me now? No.
Hang on, let me.
Yeah, unshare, and then when you go back to share it, make sure you said the audio is on.
Okay.
This is exciting, everybody.
Present, share screen. Also share tab audio.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's on. Window, share, bingo, hit play.
I don't hear it. All right, let's do this.
You don't hear it at all? Okay.
Nope.
You
That's
got
okay.
it?
I'm getting it.
All right, you get it. You try to share it then, since I don't seem to know what I'm doing. Anyway, while Steven's getting that, so I was surprised this week because the Yaira campaign started on Monday, and I was shocked when they released a live-action trailer for Yaira, and I was like, wow. So apparently he has made a few bucks if he's able to do that. The really cool thing is not only did he make a trailer, but it is directed and produced by the Soska sisters who wrote Yaira. And it's through their company. So, and you'll see that here in just a second.
Yep. Here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go.
All right. Let's do this.
Oh no!
Now you're buffering.
Now I'm buffering, and it didn't buffer a minute ago.
That's probably because you went full screen. Try going out of full screen.
Okay, I'll go out of full screen.
It seems to have problems with full screen. I don't know why.
Right. Okay.
Let's try that.
Dang, I'm buffering again.
I can do the video, and you can do the audio.
Right. I thought it had already preloaded everything, but I guess my computer doesn't like the...
Just go to the YouTube screen, show it the small, see if that...
That's just crazy stuff. All right, hang on.
Well, the Yaira live action is pretty cool because Go ahead.
No, I was doing it on the page, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, that's the way I was doing it.
Well, I was getting it off of the... what's the word I'm trying to say?
I don't...
Never mind.
Well, maybe we can't show the video. We'll have to practice that and...
Well, you did have it running, so here we go.
Just... See, I think you got the faster internet than I do, too. So
I do, so it must be something with the computer. Of course, I got all these other tabs open, so that may have something to do with it, too.
I don't know.
It starts to play just fine until I pause it, and then it goes wonky.
All right, well, let's just talk about the Yaira live action for a moment, then.
Sure, go for it.
So I was shocked because they actually show scenes from the comic book. Like the opening scene there, you actually see ISOM fall from the sky and smash onto the roof of a car. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, holy crap, that's the panel right out of ISOM. And it looked great. It really did. It looked fantastic. And then, like you said, apparently Yaira is Russian because she's got a pretty thick Russian accent in the trailer, and we had no clue of that.
I had no clue of that. So
right. Well, none of us did. I mean, it's not like we can hear her in the comic book.
Right.
And the comic book doesn't say, Russian accent or anything like that when her character's talking in the little talk bubbles and stuff. So, yeah, we wouldn't know that. And, I don't know if the Rippaverse wiki page. Let's see if the Rippaverse wiki page says anything about Yaira and her nationality. Yaira is a mysterious. Well, okay, this is the spoiler for Yaira. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers before the book comes out, just pause for a moment. All right. Yaira is a mysterious ancient alien that took up residence on Earth. Whilst there, she became an archaeologist, biologist, and a consultant for Projectus, as well as an enemy of Alpha Core and ISOM. So, early life, Yaira was born a long time ago, not in a galaxy far, far away. Well, I guess technically a galaxy far, far away. On an unnamed planet, at some point she traveled to Earth where she took up residence in Florespark, Texas, which is not a real, just like the town in Halloween is not a real town in Illinois, by the way. Anyway, amassed a large amount of knowledge in several fields of study. She used this to become an archaeologist and later a biologist and consultant of Projectus. So I don't know how she gets the Russian accent.
Right.
That's just a little bit about Yaira. So, and apparently there's a Rippaverse wiki. So if you want to learn more about Rippaverse, you can also always go to the rippaversewiki.com, which is pretty cool.
Here. Sorry, go ahead.
Because so far it's got all the characters. It's got Alpha Core on it. It's got Yaira, Gooding, and Horseman. Now, there may not be much on Horseman because his book hasn't been released at all, so they're not going to release too much. And it even lists all the comics that's been released so far. So, Good place to get some Rippaverse information.
Yeah, so we see. I kind of want to explain a little bit because we're talking about Yaira and Yaira's coming out as comic book. Yaira is at the very beginning of ISOM, and in fact, you see Yaira and ISOM bump into each other at the very beginning. Now,
it's a great scene too.
The art's great too. Where the big panel with her is huge. It's incredible. It's great artwork. I do want to say that the concept of ISOM being the first in the series is this. How would you say he's a guy with super strength?
Yeah, he's definitely got super strength.
When we say we suit up for ISOM, because your wife's giving us a hard time for not getting into the ISOM part of our
right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was excited about Yaira.
We're setting the stage.
Right.
For Rippaverse
so
and
let's
all
see.
that's happening. But yes, she's right.
Let's go to powers and abilities on the Rippaverse wiki page. Powers. It says accept physiology. Now, accept we find out is Rippaverse's kind of version of maybe X-Men, possibly mutants. Or
even in the first book, I think you make a good distinction when he's fighting the other Accept, who's
right
the nightclub owner, whatever.
So yeah, you could compare it to mutants, possibly. In the Marvel universe, just to give you an idea in your head of what an Accept is. Now, we don't know much about the Accept because it's just been mentioned a few times in the books.
But when he fights one of the things, as I was saying, is they're all different. So they're not all the same, and it seems like there may be different stages. You don't know yet. I love how Eric July is introducing these concepts to get you want to know a little bit more. Well, what do you mean?
Right.
What do you mean? Oh, interesting. What do you mean? And so you get these little breadcrumbs as he goes through the art. So I love that the way he's writing ISOM is a stage of discovery that you are discovering along with everyone.
Yes.
And he even mentions in there, for another story, another time, or, something like that. Those little asterisks and like, oh, this guy remembers stuff.
As long as he pays off on those little, because, in Star Wars, The Force Awakens, we get that scene with Han Solo and what's her face, the little, I don't even remember her name, when she's talking about Rey. And she's talking about Rey with the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maz Kanata. And she says that she obtained Luke's
for another time.
Right, a story for another time.
We got the lightsaber. Okay.
And we never got that story ever. It was like, oh yeah. So as long as he pays off on those little things, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. But don't drop them and then never pay off on them because that drives me insane. I'm still pissed at Star Wars for that.
Wow, we've only got 12 minutes left in the show and we're having a great time.
Wow, time flies. Okay, so according to the Rippaverse Wikipedia or wiki, his powers and abilities are now. His name is Avery Silman. That's his real name. Has trained his body over many years to perform feats that would be impossible for the average human. Superhuman durability. Silman's body is incredibly durable, being able to survive hits from powerful accepts like Santuan and falls from significant heights, like when Yaira drops you from the sky.
Yep.
Superhuman strength. Silman is incredibly powerful and so is able to fight powerful individuals like Santuan and punch normal people so hard as to be disembowel them. Ouch.
Yes. I remember that one panel. Yes.
And then it says his abilities are hand-to-hand combat. Silman is proficient in hand-to-hand combat due to his long experience as a superhero. So we find out that he was previously a superhero, and then he gave up being a superhero. In issue 1, you find out this information. in issue 2 they give you the reason why.
Story.
Yeah, the story of why. Because in issue 1, I was like, okay, well, why did he stop? What's going on? You know, and then in issue
wanting more.
yeah, he did. Well, and he dropped Alpha Core in issue 1.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped Yaira in issue 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Gooding in issue 1.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3. Well, Alpha Core is made up of 3 members, so we got a total of 5 other characters introduced in issue. Oh, and the bad guy Santuan. I don't know if I'm saying his name right or not. Yeah, he was also introduced. So, and he battles Santuan in the issue. Pretty epic battle too. And then that's where you learn about the accepts and so on and so forth. So, issue 1 is a lot of world building, a whole lot of world building.
Yes.
Brenda said he likes to wet your mouth for characters.
Yes.
Well, I think in issue 1, yeah, that's true. Well, in issue 2, he drops Bloodruth. Gosh, I can't remember what her first name is, but Bloodruth is introduced, and she's kind of like I don't know. I imagine her. Is she on the wiki? I don't think she's listed on the wiki.
Right. Now,
no, she wasn't.
I don't know if that wiki's official. Just saying. But
I don't know, but it links back to his merchandise, or, well, yeah, I don't know if it's official or not, but it's cool. It's cool. It's there. It's there for reference anyway. So, but yeah, issue 2, Bloodruth is introduced, and I almost imagine her being a like a Cajun with a, you know, what am I trying to think of? Just kind of a Cajun voodoo background. That's what I'm imagining.
Sure.
I don't know if that's totally correct or not, because
until we get the live trailer.
oh, yeah, it'd be pretty cool to see her live. I'd like that.
Gosh, could you imagine having to do the animation for the blood stuff?
Oh wait, if you're gonna do it live, I can't wait to see the werewolf creatures things that they fight, because he fights these werewolf creature things in issue 2.
That spontaneously combust.
Well, there's some kind of demon, so you know they're coming from a demonic realm, and which is what all leads into Bloodruth and her magic, her voodoo, whatever it is she's using against them, so on and so forth. So, yeah, they do a good job at. He does a good job at introducing characters and leave you wanting more. Because yeah, as soon as Bloodruth was introduced, I was like, oh yeah, who's this woman? She's pretty cool. So I think everybody that he introduced I liked, you know. So. East Texan Cajuns are weird.
Love them. Wait a minute. My dad used to live in East Texas. I know what you're talking about.
Well, you are kind of a weirdo, so.
That's funny. Love
so,
nerdy guys.
So apparently ISOM is a 3-part, the first set of stories is a 3-part story.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've been reading, is that it's a 3-part story that because it starts off where Avery's or ISOM, his sister contacts him about a friend who's come up missing. She doesn't know where she's at, and she wants him to look into what's happened to her. And it turns out that she's involved with the bad guy, or his association, and they are actually they were friends in school. Well, I don't know if they were really friends. They knew each other in school. Let's just put it that way.
Trying to make all the connections. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they were friends. I think they were acquaintances in high school. Because
I did like how he said that ISOM didn't have any kind of I should say ISOM is his
Avery
superhero name, but Avery is probably better. But Avery in high school or whatever as a kids or something didn't have athletic ability.
Well, he said that he was mediocre because he tried out I think for the football team, didn't make the football team, and he said that he said, well, you never even got upset that you didn't make the team, and your sister was always the better student, and so on, and better and athletic and all this stuff. I got a feeling he was just kind of downplaying. At least Avery was downplaying, maybe, to hide things.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's kind of like The Incredibles, when the kid wants to flat out beat everybody running, when Dash wants to beat everyone in track, and his dad's like, no, you can't. All right, give it a little bit more, but. Maybe it's something similar to that. I think we'll find out more as we go along. But yeah, so we find out that they know each other in high school, so on and so forth. And his business is not exactly legal. Some things are legal, some things aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Clark Kent in Smallville. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good comparison. I don't know for a fact that's what it is. I just think maybe that's it. I don't know. We'll probably find more out as the books go along.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. For those who are listening to the audio, that's a chat that Brenda put in saying when we're talking about the whole athleticism is like Clark Kent wanting to do sports in Smallville.
Good point. Good point to bring that up. So, so the second book, it all revolves around him getting back, the first book revolves around him getting back into the hero game, and it's all because his sister wants him to investigate what happened to her friend, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. Then the second book continues because things happen in the first that lead this to be a bigger story of
it's not just a missing person.
Right. It's not just a missing person.
There's much more something going on.
Right. And then that's when we get into like the magic type stuff and somewhat demonic action that's going on, and he gets attacked by these werewolf type creatures and so on and so forth. So we're also introduced, and I wished I would have known this before we had Eric on, because I would have loved to have asked him. So I know Eric July is from Texas, and I got a feeling reading the books he's a huge wrestling fan, because there is a wrestling organization that is mentioned in the book.
Yeah.
And we see the introduction to a wrestling character. I forget what his name was, but I want to ask him if that character is his love letter to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because
okay.
I really think it is. The guy's bald. He's got the goatee. I'm waiting for him to come out and crush a beer can on his head and, just do the whole Stone Cold thing. But it's obvious from the book he's a big wrestling fan, which I thought was pretty cool. So he's paying tribute to a lot of things that he loves in the book, Texas, wrestling, so on and so forth. So so far, I think ISOM 1 and 2 is fantastic.
It's really good. I can't wait for 3.
I can't either. 3. And the sad thing is we have no idea when 3's coming out. I don't even know if it's going to come out this year or not, considering we got Yaira, and then we've got Horseman coming up. I think Goodings was announced too. So,
yeah, we still have Alpha Core.
Alpha Core's out. I got that one.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to order mine. Which cover did you get? Okay.
I don't know which one that is. I don't know which A, B, or C. I don't remember. It's probably the regular release because everyone I bought so far is the regular release.
Cover A here. Let me see. Oh no, I got to go to the store now. Went to the campaign. I went to the wrong one. Comics, Alpha Core. That one is cover number D. That's cover D, I think. Is it a red? Does it have the red thing on it?
Here, Megan's going to show it so the green doesn't show through. So it has all three of them.
Collection, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cover D.
Okay.
That's cover D. Nice. I was thinking about going with cover B as the one.
Thank you, Megan. We got it.
Okay. I was trying to get rid of the reflection.
Oh.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think that might partially be my light. Let's see.
It's also
Nope.
my computer.
It's the computer.
Because you can see StreamYard when I... But, yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay. So Alpha Core is out, and then Yaira's getting ready to launch. So they're in the middle
Yaira's launch. I mean, the campaign's going.
Campaign's going, excuse me, and that's what we want to bring everyone's attention to, is to be able to check out, take a look at that, because we've already hit the $1 million benchmark.
We should mention that Alpha Core is drawn and written by Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett, and those are both big names in the comic book world too.
Mm-hmm.
That Eric has employed. So
Yeah.
and Yaira is written by the Soska sisters, and they've written Black Widow comics, and they're really into horror movies and such, and they've written a lot of horror books and stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, go check out the Soska sisters. They've got their own, Facebook and all the socials.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just look up Soska sisters on the socials. You'll find them. They're everywhere. And they directed and produced the live action trailer too. And we should mention that ISOM had an animated trailer for it, which, I mean, I was super happy when I saw an animated trailer, and then Yair comes out with live action, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yep. Now, just to give people context, that live action trailer was done in a day on a shoestring budget. So you realize what all they did to make that happen. And then it's amazing what you can do, kind of a thing. It's not perfect, kind of a thing, but it wasn't meant to be. It's not supposed to be hey, let's make this a big old movie. People giving static. I'm like, do you not realize what these folks did? It's not like they have Hollywood budget.
Right, exactly.
What they did with the money that they had is actually pretty cool, kind of a thing. So,
well, I was very impressed the way they recreated actual scenes from the comic books. I mean, that whole opening scene is ripped right out of ISOM 1, and it blew me away. I was like, holy crap, that's ISOM live action. Wow. Mm-hmm. And then see Yaira floating up in the sky with the glowing blue eyes and everything. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, this is cool. I mean, yeah, it's a little cheesy. The one guy's wig is really bad. I gotta say that, Eric, you could do better on that one. that one you could do better, and you don't need the big budget on. Right. But for what it was, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Yeah. So yeah, go on YouTube, look up Yaira trailer, live action trailer.
Rippaverse.com.
Oh yeah, go to probably send them to
Rippaverse.com, and that's where you'll find all things
Rippaverse.
Kind of a thing. You'll find about the store has all the books. If you want to get some of the books, they're worth getting because the art is good, the quality of the books are good. It's not your regular comic book paper. It's your hard. What's the glossy hard style? Like if you were to get a what's the word I'm trying to say? Compendium where they put them together.
Yes.
The hardbacks kind of a
Yes.
thing. It's that paper that's really nice. So.
Oh, and his packaging. When he ships, when the Rippaverse ships you a book,
will not come to you bent in the mail.
No. He really puts the collector in mind. It is packaged so well. I was super impressed when I got that first book. I was like, wow, this is great packaging.
It is.
Excellent job. So nothing but the customer in mind when he does this stuff, and I think that's because of his code of ethics.
Yeah,
too.
I was telling someone, I said, the books, the first ISOM I bought was $35, and then I think it was $35.
Yeah, that's about right.
And the shipping was included. And the guy I was telling about it, he was like, "Oh, that sounds expensive." And I said, "Actually, it's not. When you look at how many pages you actually get today's books for $5, and then you take it and it's
like 90 or 100 pages long, something like that.
It's huge. Yeah, I mean, you put all this together, it's actually cheaper, and you're getting better quality paper. You're getting great artwork. It's not, and you're going to get stories that, according to the Rippaverse ethics, are going to be continuous. And of course, I am happy. No multiverse. It's so exciting.
I still like multiverse.
Graphic novel. Thank you, Zig from Nerdy and Murdy. You're correct.
Yes, graphic novel.
That's the word. Thank you. It's Saturday morning. I still haven't had all my caffeine yet. I will say this, Zig, thank you so much for your geeky knowledge, because you make us much more better.
Much more. Cheers.
Cheers.
I do have my iced coffee this morning, and in honor of St. Patty's Day, I do have some Irish cream in it too.
Nice. Do you notice I'm wearing green? I'm wearing green. It's not easy being green.
It's not easy. I love that song.
Yeah. All right. Well, we better wrap things up, everybody. But I just want to encourage everybody, please go to Rippaverse.com.
Yes.
Go to Rippaverse.com. Please support Eric July and what he's doing with the comic book industry. We always complain in our own jobs how the man or the owners or the people who are in charge are always twisting stuff to get more money. But if they only realized, if they took care of the customer, you will get that. And that's what Eric is doing. He's showing, take care of the customer. We will do our end of the deal. We will help, we'll bring you great products and stuff. And so, I mean, let's take, for example, of not taking care of the customer. I love potato chips. But have you noticed that you don't see Lay's 1-pounders anymore? They keep dropping. You keep paying $3 for a bag of chips, and it keeps dropping half an ounce here. A couple months later, it drops another half an ounce, drops another half an ounce. You're still paying the same amount, but getting less chips. Sorry, that's a rant. Take care of the customer, by golly. Give me my 1-pounder bag of Lay's potato chips, please. And Eric July is following through, by golly. He's given us great content.
Almost 1-pounder comic books.
Well, ain't that the truth?
That's why they cost so much in shipping, because they weigh so much. You gotta take that in consideration.
Excuse me, that is true.
Okay. I do have one question. On a scale of 1 to 10, ISOM 1 and 2 together, what would you give it?
Easily a 9. Easily a 9.
Agreed. I together as one story, which I think will even be better once we get to. It'll be even much more better.
Much more better.
Cheers.
Much more better.
When we get issue 3, which I have no idea when issue 3 is coming out, but
I will give it 9 out of 10. ISOM smashed cars.
Now wait a minute, is it an ISOM smashed car or is it a Yaira smashed car?
Ooh, good clarification.
Because she's the one that drops him into it.
That's correct. I'll get that one. That's the way to do it, everybody. Oh my gosh, that is funny stuff right there. Hey, everybody, just want to say thank you so much for joining us. If you would please, as we talked about earlier today, we talked about Audible. And if you want to get your first month free 90 free, I would say, at audibletrial.com/2geeks, TWOGEEKS. The cool thing about Audible is you get all these books for free as being an Audible member, where you pay monthly, about $15 a month. But what's really cool is you can get thousands and thousands of books to choose from, and you get one Audible credit. Now, one Audible credit can be picked for whatever genre, whatever book, a brand new book even, that you can get on audio. So it's an audio book. Now, they also have the Audible Plus catalog, which is you get free audiobooks depending on the nature of it. And you can get some really cool audiobooks for free as long as you are a member. When you're not a member, those audiobooks disappear. I know, because I put my audio trial, my audio membership, Audible membership, on hold just to see what it would do.
Is this book on there? Because I know he did an audio of it.
I'm sure it is. Let's check it out and see.
I'm holding up the new Billy D. Williams "What Have We Here" book. It's entitled "What Have We Here," referring to Lando Calrissian when he first meets Princess Leia.
Yeah. Oh man, what have we here?
I know Jimmy Mack of Rebel Force Radio is playing clips of it for the next several weeks over on Rebel Force Radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do they used to do a weekly segment called the Lando Line of the Day. And so now, since the book came out, there we go. So you can get the new Lando Calrissian, the new Billy D. Williams book.
Yes. Here, I'm going to pop that up a little bit bigger so people can see it. So you can get it as part for your one credit if you so choose. So please check that out. It does help us. We get a little bit of a commission on those, but we enjoy it. I enjoy audiobooks because I can sit there and listen to the books while I'm working or while I'm supposed to be doing other things. Just saying.
Shh.
That's right. All right. Also, please check us out at our website at www.2geeksmike.com.
That's the number 2.
Geeksmike.com. From there, you can get to all things I almost said nerder and murdery.
Well, I'm sure Jeff and Zig would.
They love that.
Yeah.
All to geekdoms and stuff. But I will say this, please check us out and go to our Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com/2geeks. That just helps support us, kind of like Patreon, but I like it much more better.
Cheers.
More better. Cheers. We got some cool stuff coming for our members on that. So, and then if you want to get in contact with us, please check us out at show@2geeksmike.com. And also, if you want to check out our merch page, go to 2geeksmikemerch.com. And so with that, Mike, anything else?
Yes, if you made it this far, please go and like and subscribe. Go like us on Facebook. I try to post a lot of funny memes up there. I've done a lot this past week, different memes. And also, give the bell a little tickle and hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. And, give us a like, a thumbs up on the YouTube video, because the YouTube algorithms supposedly like that stuff and then help share us the more likes we get and the more subscribes we get and stuff. So please make sure and do that. With that said, I think that's all I've got. How about you, Steven?
That's it. I'm excited. Everybody, don't forget, next week, Mike and I are actually going to do a mid-season recap of Bad Batch, the latest season.
Okay.
Well, we talked about it, but then I realized, they released 2 episodes this week.
Okay.
So we'll wait till the other episode. I'm like, well, then we'll be mid-season and stuff. So, yeah.
Sorry, I was just as surprised as our listeners because we hadn't decided whether we were doing that or not.
Oh, I thought you said we were.
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Cool.
This is why we got to have meetings. Stop doing them on the air.
The joy of doing a podcast, everybody. Having fun right along. We're very right in the moment. All right, cool beans. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Mike, I'll let you do the sign out.
Okay, I don't have a real good saying for ISOM, so I'll just stick to my standards. Over and out, and may the force be with you. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.